G'day guys, Chewie here and welcome back to some more coverage of Warlords of Draenor, where today we're going to be talking about the Holy Paladin. Now I have shown some 2s arena action and talked a little bit about what I do and how I play in terms of the arena tactics itself, but I kind of skipped the stats intro video, so I thought I'd go through all that, talk about the stats, the talents and the glyphs, and basically what I'm using to arena with the Holy Paladin. Alright, so to kick it right off, let's talk about the stats itself. As the Holy Paladin, obviously you'll be stacking intellect with all the gear that you'll be wanting to get and everything like that. But in terms of enhancements, I kind of like to go towards stacking as much critical strike as I can. I mean, the mastery is nice that you get that shield, and of course Multistrike is even better, having that chance of a secondary application of your heal to come through, without a doubt. But it's all about the critical strikes for me, because I find as the Holy Paladin, when you dish out a heal, I mean, let's just talk about the first one that you're going to do is the Holy Shock. It's your instant cast. With that proccing on a crit is just an incredible heal. You've also got your other instant cast, which is also a talent tier, which I'll talk about. And of course your general healing that you do, I mean, most of it, you know, that's pretty much our only heal over time spells. It's not really, it's an instant heal cast abilities. Everything else is channeled. Everything else has that higher risk, that higher opportunity for the enemy to interrupt you. So at least when you get that heal in, you want it to be big, you want it to be heavy, and you want it to be highly effective. So that's why I'm going for the massive boost on the crit. Obviously this will get even higher as you go into arena, and as for the talents, and I should say not talents, but enchants, you really want to be stacking crit. And well, that's the way I'm going in this present arena. Obviously you could go the Multistrike way as well, which obviously then will give you that percentage chance to deliver an extra attack at 30% normal value. But me, I kind of like having a really high chance of that critical strike of the healing effectiveness. Honestly, it really is tossing up between either intellect, or intellect will come with your gear, but getting the critical strike. If not, straight after that you want to go haste, and mastery is probably the last one you want to be going for, quite honestly there. It is great, but it's not something that I'm stacking. That's a quick stat about the stats. It's pretty much all I'm rolling with this arena. The next one, I don't know why I pulled that one, the next one that we wanted to show you is obviously the talents. So what I go for the talents here is, I go for the Speed of Light talent, which I've got on a quick button keybind, which basically allows me to quickly use my escapes, use my terrain as you've seen in my arena videos of escaping the enemy, and it's just downright great as your escape for the Holy Paladin. The next one, I really like the Fist of Justice, which I have on the quick command queue, so I can quickly run around and cast that as an ability if need be in the arena. Obviously the beauty about that, if you didn't go that, then of course you've just got the normal Hammer of Justice or Might of Justice, which is a 1 minute cooldown, but you still have a stun, and then you can actually go for Repentance, which is sort of like a CC, I guess. It's like your any other version of a CC. Obviously you could go the Blinding Light, but obviously that's a very long cooldown, and the beauty about that, it's just like an AoE skill that you can basically cast. Now here, it really is up to you on this next talent tree. I kind of like Eternal Flame, because if I am running around a lot and I am getting focused quite a lot and I'm just trying to use as many of those instant cast heals, when I get up to the opportunity to use an Eternal Flame, it's a free cast, so it gives me that little bit of extra time for my mana regen. Oh, I just realised on stats I didn't talk about Spirit, but I'll talk about that last because there's a very important reason about that. So after that, I guess for the next tier, what I really prefer is Unbreakable Spirit is really great when you want to be casting that sort of stuff on yourself. But for me, I am a healer. I want to be casting as many of my abilities as I can on my opponent, such as my removals, which will basically make them immune from from slowing effects, and also by casting my Hand of Sacrifice, which is going to give them a damage reduction, a beautiful spell. For the next tier, I really do prefer the Sanctified Wrath. It does allow you to last a little bit longer whilst you're sitting in your Wings ability, which is basically your Holy Wrath. And of course the other beauty about it is it, as a Holy, it reduces the cooldown of your shock by 50% and increases its critical strike chance by 20%. So that critical strike chance right there is sitting at 35% right now, unbuffed, whenever I cast an ability, which is just awesome. And with the ability of it being on a shorter cooldown, it allows us to have an instant cast every 4 seconds, which is really, really beneficial in the arena, if you could imagine. Back to the rest of the talents and what we were talking about. I go for the Holy Prism, and the reason for that is it's just a great instant cast ability. It also applies damage down, and it really is awesome. Obviously, in terms of overall effectiveness of heal, in terms of the hit, executioning sentence is great as well, but you can cast a lot more Holy Prisms within that time. I don't really go for this at all, but it is an option, of course. A bit more of an AoE sort of thing that you can be casting down there, not a preference for me. As for the next tier guys, it's really interesting because when you do 2s, I love Saved by the Light. Basically what Saved by the Light does when you see it kick in, it gives them that shield, and obviously it can act on you and whoever you chuck your Beacon of Light on. If you're going for 3s, I really recommend going Beacon of Faith, and then for 5s, if you're going that way, you can toss up between any of these two, or you can do that if you really wanted to. It's completely up to you, but I really recommend that for 3s and that for 2s. That's pretty much it for the talents in terms of the Holy Paladin and what I roll with. As for the glyphs, I guess there's only really 2 critical things I could really recommend you for getting, and that first of all is the Glyph of Flash of Light, which basically means every time you do cast Flash of Light, you get a buff, and that buff increases the healing you receive from the next spell from the Paladin. So you're basically constantly smashing that in ability, and you're getting a massive buff on all your heals. So you just keep applying it, and you're just constantly in that circle of graded heals. Obviously using Flash of Light multiple times like this is going to destroy your mana quite sufficiently. The next one I recommend you getting is a Hand of Sacrifice, and the reason for that is basically when you put this glyph on, you no longer divert the damage to yourself, so it's basically a quick 30% reduction that you can cast on your ally. Really, really crucial. As for the third tier, it really is open for you. I don't know why I have the glyph of Beacon of Light as off cooldown timer. Probably don't really need that one there for Arena. You can go for a myriad of all these abilities here, which way you want to go for. It really is open for you and open for what you would like to do. So, yeah, really, just hook in and do whichever one they actually wish to do. I have no really significant preference out of all of these. You probably don't want anything that's going to hinder any of your abilities that you're already using, but any of them will do, except probably that one. I couldn't even tell you which one to go for. It really is up to your playstyle. This is also a really awesome one that you could go for as well, so when you do cast your wings, you're healed for every 4 seconds. That would probably be the one I'd be wanting to go for and leaving on there anyway. But that's it for the glyphs as well. As for the gameplay, guys, I've done a lot of arena matches. Please check them out. I might jump into one quick arena match after this to see how fresh I am and see if I can keep someone alive while we're in the match. So let's check that out, and thanks for watching my talent video. Alright guys, welcome to the arena. What I basically want to do is talk a little bit more about the Spirit. I didn't really talk about it in the stats as highly, but what I wanted to point out with the Spirit, you don't want to overdo the Spirit. I mean, honestly, around the 1600, or I dare say even around 1500 Spirit, you're pretty productive. At that sort of point, you've got enough Spirit regeneration to complement with your Eternal Flame, so you pretty much, if you don't have to burst all the time, or constantly use, you know, your Flash of Light, you're going to have a pretty decent amount of mana resource. I ideally aim to get at least 1500 before getting into Arena. If you don't have much Spirit gear, it is kind of important while you're being the healer, because if you're up against a heals comp like this, there's a highly likelihood with a low regeneration pool that healer is going to out-resource you, if that sort of makes sense. So he's going to be in the fight a little bit longer because his mana is working better and he's going to be able to support a lot more. So if you're going heals, you know, Spirit is a critical thing, and if you could try to get to 1500, that's the goal. So basically this is just a quick show of what the sort of Spirit level I'm at from how I play all my... Oh, well, they just quit. Okay, let's jump into another one. Yes, so as I was saying, guys, we're up against a Rogue DK combo. Once you get to that sort of mark where you're up to the 1500 plus, that's a comfortable place to be for Spirit, honestly. It really, really is. You know, you can tinker with it, which ones you like, you know, but obviously I really recommend you get to that 1500, and a couple of rings and a couple of trinkets pretty much gets you there, so it's quite doable, and honestly you'll really notice the difference, especially with the Holy Paleo. Well, I guess any of the healers, your resource is your most important thing, because you're constantly casting your spells, which is your heals, and you need to keep your buddy alive in the arena. So for this quick couple of rounds, I'm teaming up with a Hunter here to see how we go. Well, it's just really a demonstration of the skills. So ideally here, now that I'm in this sort of contest, I really want to be opening up, using my stuns as much as possible. And in this case, I really want to keep that DK off me. So you can see they're really smashing out all their bursts. There goes the stun. That's 2 stuns in a row. At this point, it's pretty critical. You probably want to be dropping one of your major cooldowns at least. I think I popped my trinket to get away from that, and now I've popped my wings, which it's really hard to see because I'm getting pummeled so hard. And then I popped on a Hand of Protection, because the rogue's pretty much nullified, and you can see there that my Hunter is able to really just smash down that DK. And once we get that DK down, well, that's it. So at this point, it's pretty easy times. It's just nailing down the rogue, destroying him, and keeping the team alive. So not too bad, not too bad. I hope the video has been quite useful for you guys. A little chat about the stats of what you need to be stacking and what you need to get in terms of critical strike, or what I use anyway, and of course a baseline for your spirit. If you think 1500 is a goal, you can probably do 1300 as well, but you'll probably notice the regen is probably not as adequately fast as you like it to be. It's definitely doable. I just prefer the 1500 at this stage because I almost died there again. God, did you see how close that was? That was insane. That was very close. You can see that Hand of Protection is just ideally an awesome ability to have against a rogue. I haven't even actually used my bubble. Not a bad match after all. But look, as I said guys, I hope you enjoyed the talent overview, the glyphs, what I'm using in Arena, and hopefully this helps you out in your journey with the Holy Paladin. And as always guys, thanks for watching.